All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Ricardo Romero Morales. I'm Lead Public Information Officer with the County of Santa Clara. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here and tuning in today. Today, we're here at Monterey Mushrooms in Morgan Hill, where farm workers are receiving their second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Today is also César Chavez Day, and this is a perfect opportunity for us to be here and being able to vaccinate our farm workers. Today we're also honored to have the following speakers with us. We have Supervisor Cindy Chavez from the County of Santa Clara Board of Supervisors. We also have Lauro Barajas from the National Vice President, United Farm Workers. We have Elizabet Gonzalez, spokesperson from the UFW Foundation. Joe Deviney from Agriculture Commissioner, County of Santa Clara. Elena Roberts, Deputy Agricultural Commissioner from County of Santa Clara. And Cha Kazemi, President and CEO of Monterey Mushrooms. We will have this press conference in English. We will then move into questions and answers. After that, we will move into a Spanish portion of the press conference, in where we will also have statements from the podium in Chinese, Vietnamese, and Tagalog. Without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and welcome Supervisor Cindy Chavez to the podium. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody. I wanted to start today with my favorite quote from César Chavez. And it says, "We cannot seek achievement for ourselves and forget about the progress and prosperity of our community. Our ambitions must be broad enough to include the aspirations and the needs of others, for their sakes and for our own." And the reason I think that's such a powerful quote and why it's so apt today is what César Chavez was fighting for was dignity of every job, access to good pay and health insurance, which is provided here by this employer. And as importantly, we're not leaving anybody in our community behind, which is why you see us doing the second doses of vaccine for farm workers. Today is a reminder, at least for me, that one of the most important things that we can do as a community is make sure that every single person in our community who wants to be vaccinated has access to the vaccine. And today is a celebration that we're leaving no one behind. And let me just wrap up with this point. The dignity of work and how we express that over the last year has been fascinating to me, because we've referred to people as essential, that we need them to survive. But the way we express our honor to those is making sure we pay them well, that they have insurance, and that we're treating everybody with equity. And that's what today is about, making sure that we're treating everybody fairly and equitably. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Lauro Barajas with United Farm Workers. And basically we're celebrating this vaccination, this day of celebration also of César Chavez. And when this pandemic started, the farm workers were called essential. So it's good that farm workers are not only essential working, but also getting the vaccines. So we've been working with the state, the counties, health, the health area of the counties, to make sure that farm workers get the vaccines right away, and we stop deaths and people getting the virus. So it's very nice that we, again, like I said, we're celebrating César Chavez Day here in Monterey, Morgan Hill, working together with the company and bringing these benefits to the farm workers. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today, this morning, especially with our farm workers. My name is Elizabet Gonzalez, and I am the Emergency Relief Coordinator for the United Farm Workers Foundation. It is César Chavez's birthday and a day to celebrate his legacy through a day of service. We're very thankful to the partnership that we have with Monterey Mushrooms, the United Farm Workers, and Santa Clara County. Today, we ensure that 1,000 of our frontline workers have been vaccinated, and that is just incredible. On César Chavez Day, what a legacy. Thank you all for your partnership, and we look forward to working with Santa Clara County to ensure that all of our frontline workers and farm workers are vaccinated. Thank you, and sí se puede. Gracias.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Joe Deviney. I'm the Agricultural Commissioner here for Santa Clara County. And this is such an exciting day for me, and such a hopeful day. A day that takes us a great distance forward in protecting our essential agricultural workers. I'm just so impressed and so proud of the wonderful team of people that have worked so hard to have this be accomplished. And I just feel privileged to be a part of it. I must also acknowledge my South County Deputy Agricultural Commissioner, Helena Roberts, who will be speaking next. And she has just dedicated so much time and effort in all of these agricultural worker vaccine events. And she shares with us all a very deep passion and advocacy for the health and safety of all of the agricultural workers. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak today.
Definitivamente es un día muy, muy especial. Quiero agradecer a todos los trabajadores de campo que vinieron hoy especialmente a tener su segunda vacuna. Están representando su responsabilidad que tienen con su familia, con la comunidad, con sus empleadores. Es un gran paso para poder combatir el problema de este virus. Muchísimas gracias por haber venido y continúen por favor cuidándose mucho, siguiendo los protocolos de seguridad. Agradezco especialmente a mi equipo de biólogos que han estado colaborando, informando a los trabajadores de campo y a los agricultores sobre estos eventos. Muchas gracias a todos.
Good morning. My name is César Chavez. I'm president of Monterey Mushrooms. It is fitting that today, as we vaccinate additional 500 people, is being held on César Chavez's birthday. This is an incredible example of a stewardship and collaboration supporting the health and well-being of our teammates and other agricultural workers who are essential to food production. If César was here today, he would be very proud of the effort by the County of Santa Clara, United Farm Workers, UFW Foundation, and Monterey Mushrooms. We gotta continue to support the vaccination effort and get as many farm workers vaccinated as soon as possible. Thank you.
We'll now move to the question portion in English before we begin the Spanish portion of the press conference. We'll start with KPIX.
That's a really good question. I don't think we know the answer to that yet. What we've been tracking has been by age and by census tract, but it is a question that we've been trying to figure out, and we'll have to circle back with you on that. Anecdotally, in terms of how many people are getting vaccinated? Oh, the infection rate. I mean, one of the things to note, and actually it's interesting that Yvonne Beltran is here because she's a city council member in Morgan Hill, is that early on in the pandemic, we saw a rise of infections in Gilroy and in Eastside San Jose, but we've also begun to see them in Morgan Hill. And I think that is a sign of people who are living in close quarters and who aren't able to access, frankly, being able to separate effectively and efficiently because of, just income, right? You have to live together. The second thing I'll say is that we've seen a dip in testing, and we really need people, especially those who haven't been vaccinated, to continue to get testing so that we make sure we don't have a rise of illness, really, in our community.
We'll go to Bay City News.
Joe, I'm going to let, do you know
Joe.
Do you know how many farm workers we have that live in Santa Clara County? Not me personally.
That is an excellent question that I don't know the answer to. But I do know that Santa Clara County employs about over 8,000 full-time employees annually. But that includes all the processing, all the field workers, and all the ones that migrate in for the different crops such as cherries and grapes and all the different peppers and things that need picking by hand. So that's the big number of the full year. Over 8,000 full-time equivalent. That's when we do our economic kind of studies. That's how it boils down. But some of them are only here for 3 months or 3 weeks or certain harvest periods. So it's a hard number to grab, but there's a lot of action here in Santa Clara County as far as ag production and ag workers.
KCBS.
Wait, before he goes on, Joe, could you just say what our how much this contributes to the annual gross product?
Sure. That's a great point, Supervisor Chavez. Last year, in the last crop report that we put together, Santa Clara County produced $316 million of agricultural products, and that's just farm products. It's not including all the processing. When you add all the processing and all the economic components to that, it's about 1.6 billion that agriculture and all the value added, the garlic powder, the wine, all of it put together, 1.6 billion production in Santa Clara County.
KCBS.
Oh my gosh, you should do that.
Go ahead. So we've done, for those of you who don't know, we have very many different ways that we're reaching out. Social media, paid advertisement, and we have people going door to door. And these incredible partnerships with folks like Shaw from Monterey Mushrooms is a good example of working with the employer to talk to the employees directly. In terms of hesitancy, one thing I just want to be clear is most people want to be vaccinated. And we got to say that because we don't want people to believe there's some reservoir of hesitancy that's bigger than it is. What we found out from going door to door is that the hesitancy rate is less than 15%. And what we don't know yet is that hesitancy rooted in fear of the vaccine. Is it's hard to get there? Is it fear of shots? There's a lot we have to dig into, and we're doing that right now on the doors, door to door, in the hardest hit census tracts, and we're going business to business. So we're both able to sign up people as vaccine appointments become available for those on doors as well as those in their workplaces.
ABC. All right. KPIX.
Yeah, what a great question. So part of what's important about vaccinating folks who are transitory is that we know that especially farm workers live in very crowded conditions. And so what we want to make sure is everybody who's in our county, while they're in our county, that we get them vaccinated. Let me also make a point that one of the reasons the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is so important is that for lots of communities, not just migrant communities, you have some people who are afraid of that second shot. They would rather just have one and done. But the other is it's an opportunity to catch people that we may only be able to see once. We have a strong employer partnership here, so that's not the challenge we have with Monterey Mushroom, but in other places it may be. And it's also why we're using Johnson & Johnson with communities that are, for example, homeless communities. And when I'm ready, you know, when it's my turn, I'll be taking the Johnson & Johnson vaccine as well.
KTBU?
In this county alone, 1.6 million, like you said. So how important it is to keep people healthy, because if you don't, it affects the businesses like Monterey Mushrooms. Eventually, could it get to the consumer?
As far as the workers go, you're very correct. A lot of the agricultural work is side by side, whether it be in like a mushroom facility or in the field. So the essential nature of their work, that's why we're here today, to make sure that they are safe. But they all go home, and they all have family and relatives, so all this will protect them as well. But as far as COVID, it doesn't move on the products. That's not a primary way. Okay.
My question was, I run a business, and if I have a workforce that's getting sick, then I have to do other ways of getting my product where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And eventually, could that hit the consumer? Like, am I going to have to pay more for lettuce or mushrooms or whatever if this isn't done?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very difficult to operate these types of businesses already. So when you have introduce a pandemic like this, business could go out of business, and then with less product out in the market, the prices would go up. So to keeping these businesses viable, keeping the workers working, it's a very integral part of the food system.
Well, we're encouraging all our employees to be vaccinated. We have embarked on an educational program a few weeks ago, actually going back about maybe a month and a half ago, trying to educate our workforce regarding the benefits of being vaccinated. And I think the message is getting across. So a lot, because we have had as many as 50, 60 people off at any given day because of contact tracing. When one individual is affected, we have to go back and look at everybody who was in direct contact, and those people are off for 14 days, but the work is still need to be done. So it has been quite challenging.
Two more questions, David.
Sure. And great response, by the way. I want to say one thing before I respond to that, is that I just want to appreciate Shah and the leadership he's shown, not just here, but in the entire industry, if you don't know that. Could you restate the question just so I make sure? Got it. So one thing is that we don't want to have any barriers. So we're not interested in knowing anything but who you are, not your immigration status. And we have people sign an attestation saying that it's their turn to get vaccinated, but that's it. And the reason for that is we want everybody to get vaccinated. So the goal is 0 barriers.
Final question for Bay City News. If you could repeat the question for
We have 1,200 employees, and I think hopefully by the time we get done with the next round of vaccination, at least 1,100 or close to it will be vaccinated. I probably have to ask the county when they're going to have more vaccine available. This is the third round, so we've been continuing to go round after round, and we'll continue the efforts to get not only our teammates vaccinated, but as many ag workers vaccinated as possible.
Thank you, everyone. Now begin the Spanish portion of the press conference.
Thank you, everybody. We will now move into the Spanish portion of the press conference. Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es Ricardo Romero Morales, soy oficial principal de información pública para el Condado de Santa Clara. El día de hoy estamos aquí reunidos en Monterey Mushrooms, en el cual estamos poniendo la vacuna, la segunda dosis de la vacuna a todas aquellas personas que trabajan en el campo, nuestros trabajadores agrícolas, los cuales ya recibieron la primera dosis y el día de hoy están aquí para recibir su segunda dosis de la vacuna contra el COVID-19. Entre el domingo pasado y el día de hoy, aproximadamente 1,000 trabajadores agrícolas estarán recibiendo su segunda dosis del COVID-19, la vacuna contra el COVID-19. Todo esto es gracias a la colaboración entre el Condado de Santa Clara, United Farm Workers, UFW Foundation, and the Monterey Mushrooms. Todos estos esfuerzos son los esfuerzos que estamos haciendo, trabajando juntos con nuestras agencias comunitarias para asegurarnos que aquellas personas quienes han sido impactadas por el COVID-19 puedan recibir su dosis de la vacuna. El día de hoy también estoy aquí acompañado de otras personas quienes están aquí involucradas para traerles un mensaje. Hay que recordar que el día de hoy es el día de César Chavez, en el cual estamos aquí vacunando a todas aquellas personas quienes ya han sido vacunadas y que trabajan en la industria agrícola. El día de hoy, para hablarnos en español, también tenemos a Lauro Barajas, quien es el vicepresidente nacional de United Farm Workers. También tenemos a Elizabet Gonzalez, quien es una persona que representa a la UFW Foundation. Y también tenemos a Elena Roberts, quien es diputada agrícola commissioner del Condado de Santa Clara. Vamos a presentar a Lauro Barajas, quien va a venir aquí al podio para darnos unas palabras.
Buenos días, otra vez soy Lauro Barajas con United Farm Workers, la Unión de Campesinos, y estamos celebrando el día de César Chavez, el natalicio de César Chavez, y la mejor forma de celebrarlo, miramos que era aquí en esta vacunación. Entre la gente que trabaja en el campo ha habido una alta mortalidad de contagiados y de muertes, y por eso empezamos a trabajar con el estado de California, con los condados, con compañías, como lo estamos haciendo con la Monterey, porque vemos que traer las vacunas es pelearle a la muerte, es parar los contagios. Y por eso no podíamos celebrar de una forma mejor este día que aquí, en esta compañía, con trabajadores que están siendo vacunados. Gracias y que pasen buen día.
Muy buenos días a todos. Es un placer estar con ustedes el día de hoy, aquí en la Monterey Mushrooms, terminando de vacunar ya a más de 1,000 personas. Mi nombre es Elizabet Gonzalez, alcance a la comunidad para lo de emergencias. Es un placer seguir el legado de César Chavez hoy en su cumpleaños, vacunando a más de 1,000 trabajadores del campo, y es un honor continuar haciendo el trabajo. Muchas gracias a la Monterey Mushrooms, a la Fundación UFW y a la Unión de Campesinos por hacer esto posible. Seguiremos trabajando con el Condado de Santa Clara para asegurarnos que nuestros campesinos, nuestra gente agrícola, se vacunen. Muchas gracias.
Definitivamente es un gran día. Estoy muy agradecida con las personas, los trabajadores agrícolas que se han hecho presentes para tomar su segunda vacuna. Es un paso muy importante y demuestra la responsabilidad que están teniendo hacia sus familias, hacia la comunidad y a sus empleadores. Muchísimas gracias por todos los que han colaborado en el desarrollo de este evento, particularmente a mi equipo de biólogos que han estado comunicando a los agricultores, a los contratistas y a otras entidades para que estas vacunaciones tengan la mayor difusión posible. Por favor, quiero recordarles que a pesar de que estén vacunados, continúen con los protocolos de seguridad y les agradezco nuevamente a los trabajadores agrícolas por todo su trabajo que hacen día a día en el campo y por favor manténganse seguros y sanos. Gracias.
Muchas gracias a todos nuestros invitados quienes tuvieron unas palabras para nosotros. Antes de continuar, quiero recordarles a todos que aunque ya se hayan puesto la vacuna, es muy importante que sigamos usando nuestro cubrebocas, mantener ese distanciamiento social de más de 6 pies y también ponernos la vacuna cuando es nuestro turno, si aún no lo han hecho. Bueno, pues ahora vamos a movernos con el resto de la programación de esta conferencia de prensa. We will now go ahead and transition into statements in Vietnamese, Chinese, and Tagalog from the podium. So we'll welcome our Lee Vo, who will be presenting doing a statement in Vietnamese from the podium. Lee?
Xin chào quý vị, tôi là Khánh Ly, là nhân viên truyền thông của quận hạt Santa Clara. Kính thưa quý vị, hạt Santa Clara đã cùng phối hợp với United Farm Worker, Monterey Mushrooms và UFW Foundation tiêm ngừa Covid-19 cho liều thứ 2 cho 500 nông dân vào ngày César Chavez. Các công nhân từ Monterey Mushrooms và các trang trại lân cận khác sẽ được tiêm ngừa sau buổi họp báo ngắn kỷ niệm sự kiện này. Các nông dân và công nhân làm việc tại các trang trại là một trong số các nhóm ưu tiên đầu tiên được tiêm chủng đầy đủ tại hạt Santa Clara kể từ khi hội đủ điều kiện nhận vaccine vào ngày 28 tháng 2 năm 2021 và có 500 người sẽ được tiêm liều thứ 2 trong ngày hôm nay. Bà César Chavez, giám sát viên quận hạt Santa Clara cho biết những người nông dân là những người đã làm việc mỗi ngày trong suốt đại dịch để thu hoạch nông phẩm và đưa thức ăn đến với cộng đồng, đã giúp cho California và khu vực này trở thành một trong những khu vực sản xuất nông nghiệp lớn nhất thế giới và tạo ra doanh thu hàng tỷ đô mỗi năm. Chúng ta cần phải bảo vệ và giúp những người nông dân này được an toàn bằng cách cung cấp chủng ngừa Covid-19 ngay tại nơi mà họ làm việc để tất cả các nông dân có thể tiếp cận tiêm ngừa dễ dàng hơn. Đây là một cột mốc quan trọng trong nỗ lực tiêm chủng cho cộng đồng dễ bị tổn thương nhất trong quận hạt Santa Clara. Thật là phù hợp khi mà sự kiện này diễn ra đúng vào ngày sinh nhật của César Chavez, là một nhà hoạt động dân quyền người Mỹ gốc Latin nổi tiếng, đấu tranh vì quyền lợi cho nông dân. Hạt Santa Clara sẽ hỗ trợ thuốc chủng ngừa và nhân viên y tế. Trang trại Monterey Mushrooms, United Farm Worker và UFW Foundation sẽ hỗ trợ địa điểm, cơ sở vật chất, giúp đỡ và những dịch vụ cần thiết và đưa thông tin về việc chủng ngừa đến cho tất cả các nông dân đang làm việc tại đây. Để biết thêm thông tin về chủng ngừa Covid-19 cũng như là tất cả các thông tin liên quan đến Covid-19 của quận hạt Santa Clara thì quý vị có thể gọi điện thoại vào số 211 hoặc là vào trang mạng là sccgov.org/coronavirus và trang web cho vaccine sẽ là sccfreevax.org. Xin cảm ơn.
大家好，我是圣塔克拉拉县紧急行动中心的 Chang。今天在劳工运动领袖查维斯纪念日的当天，有500名的前线农民将完成他们第2剂的疫苗。这500位农民是在2月28日开放1B 阶段前线工作人员施打疫苗的时候打的第1剂疫苗。这个流动疫苗站是圣塔克拉拉县和联合农场工人工会、地方农场 Monterey Mushrooms 以及联合农民基金会共同合作设置的。这样的合作目的是为了保护县内为数众多农民的健康及安全。圣塔克拉拉县的农业每年为圣县带来相当可观的经济效益，而这些前线农民是幕后的功臣。但是在疫情的期间，他们坚守岗位，为我们餐桌上的食物做出了贡献。由于工作和住房的状况， 他们面临的更高风险的新冠肺炎感染几率。联合农民基金会的一项调查显示，在超过1万名农民受访者，有73%的人希望接种疫苗，但是由于农民的工时和工作的地点，让他们比较不容易得到疫苗。此次的合作是为了更积极地提供方便的新冠疫苗接种给前线的农民。县府也在附近设置了多个流动疫苗站。想要预约打疫苗或者是了解更多的讯息，请上圣县新冠疫苗网站 sccfreevax.org， 也可以拨打电话到211。想要了解任何新冠消息和更新，请上圣县的网站 www.sccgov.org/covid19， 可以选择中文的页面。县府也提醒，由于病毒目前还在社区当中传播，就算已经有许多人接种了疫苗，或是您已经打了疫苗，每个人都必须继续采取防疫的措施，勤洗手、戴口罩，和他人保持至少6英尺的身体距离，并且避免不必要的出行。最后，祝大家平安健康，谢谢。
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ako pang muli si Sherry Ann Mangligot, ang inyong Public Information Officer sa Santa Clara County. 500 farm worker ay makakakuha ng pangalawang bakuna sa COVID-19 dito sa Monterey Mushrooms Facility sa Morgan Hill sa araw ng César Chavez. Libo-libong mga manggagawa ay nakumpleto na ang kanilang bakuna sa COVID-19 noong linggo, March 28 at ngayong pagdiriwang ng César Chavez Day. Ang mga farm workers ay ilan sa mga ganap na nabakunahan sa Santa Clara County magmula nang sila ay naging kwalipikado para sa bakuna noong February 28 at 500 manggagawa ay makakatanggap ng pangalawang dosis ngayong Miyerkules. Ang pagbabakuna na ito ay ang partnership ng County ng Santa Clara, United Farm Workers, Monterey Mushrooms at UFW Foundation. Para sa iba pang impormasyon sa COVID-19 na pagbabakuna sa County ng Santa Clara, bisitahin ang www.sccfreevax.org o tumawag sa 211 para sa tulong at available ito sa maraming wika. Hinihimok ko po na kung kayo ay kwalipikado, magpabakuna para sa inyong proteksyon. Maraming salamat po.